Under the starry night, adventurers gathered, sharing a hearty meal. The warrior of the group, Alex, asked what his party would like to do after the war is over. The sorcerer, Dorothy, answered that she would be diving headfirst into magic research. The brawler, Ryan, replied that he would be going back to his hometown. Roy the assassin asked Alex what he would be doing. The warrior replied that he had not figured it out yet. The assassin teased him since it looked like he had no ambition at all to keep him going. While drinking, Ryan suggested that he must try to settle down to have a drastic change in his life. The comment made the group freeze for a moment as they did not realize that the man was married. Alex paused and commented that someday, if he ever were to marry someone, he hoped that it would be with someone he would truly fall for. He dreamed of an ordinary and happy life with someone and hoped that it would bring him peace. Later, the group finally landed at the Demon Castle. Alex was fighting head-on with the Demon Queen. They continued to exchange attacks when the Demon Queen slightly overpowered him, pushing him back. His party had his back, supporting him in the fight. Dorothy passed him a crystal ball, and Roy told him to use the teleport crystal as an escape if things started to look bad. However, right now, escaping was not an option. They had to settle and finish the battle right there and then. They prepared themselves, and Ryan lunged at the Demon Queen and gave him a powerful punch. To his dismay, he did not manage to even scratch the enemy. Roy tried to attack as well and swung his weapon, but the Demon Queen successfully dodged all of his advances. Queen managed to grab his hand and swung him into Ryan, sending both of them to the opposite side of the room with brute force. Triggered, Dorothy activated her magical staff, and little plants sprouted from the ground. The vines suddenly reached the Queen, holding him in place. While the enemy was still restrained, Alex unsheathed his sword, and released an insane and powerful amount of mana. The blinding light pierced through the air straight to the Queen. He managed to make a shield at the last minute, and saved himself just in time. However, this did not change the fact that he was nearly fatally injured. He praised the warrior for his amazing power and strength. With this, he finally admitted defeat, making Alex hold onto his sword for support. He felt relief that the withstanding war against the Demon Clan had finally ended. He reflected on the life he had led so far. It was a big honor for him to defeat the Demon Queen, but the victory seemed empty for him. After the war, he decided to stop living as a hero and just be an ordinary citizen. He picked up his sword and swore to himself that he would find something that would give meaning to his life. Just then, the Queen's armor started to crack and fall off from his face. Alex took a look at him and was surprised to discover that his sworn enemy was all along a woman, making him completely flustered. He could not believe that his heart was beating like crazy. He clasped his chest, and his body felt like it was burning up. The Queen took a peek at him, confused. Even his party asked him why he had not finished the fight. Alex's face was beet red when he shouted that he did not have a clue either, and that all he knew was that his chest felt tight. Ryan suspected that their warrior was under a brutal mind curse. With this, they sought Dorothy's help in dispelling the curse. She tried to cure him while the Queen still seemed confused about the situation. While Dorothy and the others tended to Alex, Roy stepped up and volunteered to be the one who finished the Queen. He gripped his weapon, ready to take on the enemy. However, to everyone's surprise, Alex attacked Roy and blocked his attack, placing himself in between them. Feeling insulted, the Queen stated that she did not need his pity. Alex denied this and tried to say that she was not pitying her. However, upon looking closely at her, he could not help but blush out of embarrassment. Overwhelmed, he shouted to ease the tension inside his chest. In disbelief, he could not even look her in the face. Seeing Alex still in a dire situation, Roy asked Dorothy if she had even managed to lift the curse. Dorothy just scratched her head since she discovered that there was not a spell to break to begin with. Confusion was written on everyone's faces. Ryan paused for a while in thought. He suggested that maybe Alex had fallen in love with the Queen. It now all dawned on the warrior that the unfamiliar feeling inside his chest was what others called love. Upon this admission, his party and even the Queen were all shocked by what he had just told them. Alex felt strange in his chest. He had never felt this way before. It felt like everything was even brighter and more beautiful now. Ryan scratched his head, wondering if their leader had really fallen in love. Roy found it incredulous that he had feelings for the enemy of mankind. Dorothy chimed in and agreed, commenting that she was a better woman for him than the Queen. The two adventurers smacked her from behind, trying to put some sense into her as well. The brawler cleared his throat and told the warrior to look closely at the Queen. He pointed out that she had menacing beastly eyes and sharp fangs enough to shred steel. He pointed out that she was totally different from humans and every bit full of flaws in her appearance. Aside from this, his first relationship would be very complex and difficult since she was from another species, and it would also affect their intimacy. Alex took a glance at the Queen's body and peeled his eyes away after. Unable to help his attraction, he thought that what made her different made it even hotter. The squad found the situation frustrating and weird. The queen then tried to hide her body, saying that his stare was downright revolting and that she felt like she was in danger. Blushing, Alex realized that he had just practically confessed his feelings for her. She told him to stay back as she scooted away from him. With disgust on her face, she screamed that she would rather die than end up mated with the likes of him. Alex's chest felt like it was exploding in pain. Not even the fiercest battle he had been in had drained his soul like this. He looked back at his party and mentioned that a hero falling in love with the demon queen was bad. They could not believe that he had just realized that when they were trying to point it out to him earlier. The queen looked at him with contempt and could not believe that she was defeated by a lowly life like him. Embarrassed, Alex told her that he was serious about his feelings. Ryan just sighed. He deeply respected Alex. Behind his glorious image that was deeply adored by the public, he was a heartless hero who had slain countless demons. The man had never found fulfillment in riches, fame, or anything else. Whenever he looked at his friend, he always wore a gloomy look on his face, so it was completely new to him to see the glow on his face right now whenever he looked at the queen. However, Roy found this revolting and picked up his weapon. He could not accept the fact that the hero was willing to throw everything that they fought for away because of his foolish feelings. He lunged to attack Alex, trying to talk sense into him. Ryan screamed at the assassin for trying to strike their hero. In disbelief, Roy asked if they did not feel the same sickening feeling that Alex was foolishly in love with their greatest enemy. Ryan clenched his fist while Dorothy felt the tension rising. Roy told his friend to think it through and insisted that they kill the demon queen ultimately. Otherwise, he would have to eliminate him as well. Roy pushed his weapon against the hero's throat, ready to take his life with the wrong answer. The silence is deafening as they all wait for Alex's decision. Roy tries to shake him, reiterating that the answer should be simple for a hero like him. Alex clenches his jaw, torn on what to say. A hero like him is the hope of the weak and a symbol of unwavering conviction to defend humanity. However, all this time, the description does not fit him at all. A long time ago, he was a pitiful child abandoned by his parents and left to die on the streets. He does not remember the details clearly, but what he remembers was begging for someone to help him. Just then, a man in full armor noticed him and commanded someone to take him in. After that, he was taken in by the kingdom and raised in a facility. The children gathered there were all orphans just like him. Back then, the kingdom was losing the war against the demons, and they were desperate for a hero. And so, the facility where he was raised was established to produce a hero, and was called the Hero Selection Institute. Although they were still young, the officers trained them in a brutal way that affected his young body. Once, he dozed off while reading, and the instructor struck him to make him focused. They crammed magical knowledge into their heads even while they slept. Those who had good standing in class and in combat were rewarded, and the likes of him that were weak were given only the leftovers. Afraid of being discarded, he practiced and trained on his own. He became a hardened individual and killed his emotions to survive. However, in the first place, he believed that he did not have a heart at all. After years of successful training, he survived and was appointed to fight with his comrades in the hero's party to subjugate the demon queen. While traveling to the demon's lair, he explored different parts of the world, which were all foreign to him. He fought alongside his comrades and defeated beasts that dared to take them on. He told himself that by being a great hero, he would feel fulfillment, but it was not as he hoped it would be. Inside a tavern, he asked his friends why they joined the subjugation team. The others answered in unison that they wanted to defeat the demon queen. Additionally, Ryan wanted to master the art of the warrior and train his heart. Dorothy wanted to gain more knowledge in magical research. While Roy wanted to live off the reward money for the rest of his life, Ryan commented that they did not really sound like heroes and that they were just adventurers who happened to share the same goals but were selfish in their own ways. As the chatter continued, Alex fell silent and realized that he was different from the others. He had no dreams to fulfill and no personal desires. Right now, he had no reason to fight and did not have the unwavering conviction expected of a hero. He realized that he was just a hollow doll with nothing inside and was being used by the kingdom. Because of this, he craved to feel something real from the bottom of his heart. And then, out of nowhere, when he looked at the queen's face, he just knew. Roy laughs dryly at the confession, unable to believe that the hero has truly fallen in love with a demon. Alex grabs his comrade's hand, declaring that he does not want to give up on his feelings. Roy cannot believe that Alex calls his craziness love and simply likens it to his natural biological instinct. However, the hero stands by his feelings and refuses to give up on them. Because of this, he grabs Roy's hand, gathers power in his palm, and unleashes it toward the assassin. Roy is sent flying back to his comrades, while Ryan is tending to him. Alex grabs the queen and scoops her up, planning to escape away from the party. The trio is shocked by his actions, especially when he leaps while carrying the queen. They rapidly plunge down from the demon castle while the three adventurers look at them in disbelief. The queen feels the same and asks if he is going insane. Alex fetches the teleportation crystal that Dorothy gave him earlier and uses it to warp to another place. The three see the glowing light and wonder what it could be. The sorcerer then realizes that it was the teleportation crystal that she gave Alex for emergencies. While plummeting, Alex whispers a silent apology to his comrades for basically betraying them and choosing love. Queen grabs the crystal and plans to teleport without Alex. Fortunately, Alex manages to stop her. They scramble to get the crystal away from each other's grasp until it cracks. The hero is in disbelief since there is a possibility that the item will not work properly now. After a blinding light explodes from the crystal, the hero and the queen are gone. Roy grits his teeth in anger, and the three of them are left to fight against the remaining forces of the demon army. They all ease into fighting positions while Roy thinks about where Alex and the queen could have teleported to. He guesses that it must be somewhere within the kingdom, and so it should not be hard to find them. This is a huge problem since they need to report the incident to the queen, and they do not know what the repercussions will be. Humanity has been waging the longest war against the demon race, and they have always been at a disadvantage until a superior hero appeared and proved that humanity could mend the war. However, that said hero was charmed by Queen. They cannot report the situation like this since it will pose as a scandal and taint the name of the kingdom. Roy slashes through the enemies, wondering if Alex was thinking about the repercussions of his actions. He shouts his name in frustration since they are left to clean up after his mess. Meanwhile, Alex and the queen are transported to unfamiliar snowy mountains. At a party, a woman approached Alex and suggested that he come to her room tonight. Clueless, he asked why he needed to be there. Embarrassed, the woman ran away without even looking back. Ryan and Roy tried to tease him, telling him not to embarrass the princess of their nation, knowing too well that he did not understand the hidden remark. Naive, he questioned what he should do inside the princess room. Ryan asked if he did not even notice that the princess liked him. Roy commented that it was his chance to experience what men and women obviously like to do inside a closed room. Ultimately, Alex could not make sense of the situation. Besides, he had just met the princess yesterday, and it would be preposterous of him to join her in her room. Ryan just scratched his head and told him that love does not follow logic. At present, Alex tries to decipher their location. He cannot feel any men are around, and yet he can sense a strong presence of despair. Although he is in the middle of uncertainty, his heart feels warm and full while carrying the queen through the snowy mountains. The queen's voice pulls him back to the present, demanding that he put her down that instant. Wanting to stay close to her, he refuses to put her down, insisting that he carry her while finding a shed where they can keep themselves warm. Since it is useless to argue with him, the queen lets him carry her until they can find shelter. Eventually, they find a cave where they can take shelter from the cold. Alex finds the moment blissful. It is just the two of them inside the cave, and he definitely wants to grow closer to the queen. However, he wonders what he should do next. He thinks that he should start a conversation with her. With this, he asks if she is cold, and if there is anything that he could do for her. Observing her closely, he notices that she barely talks to him and wonders if she could be depressed about losing her castle. Naively, he casts a spell and lights up the cave, thinking that this could help with her mood. To his dismay, she still does not want to talk to him, and so he offers her a meal instead. He then shows her a wild animal he cooked, claiming that it could give her a boost of energy. In the end, nothing works, and the queen still refuses to talk to him. So instead, he narrates a story about two people who got stranded in the snowy mountains. According to the story, the two survived by pressing their bodies together and keeping each other warm. He then offers the space beside him, saying that his body heat could help her feel warm in the cold cave. Frustrated, she spits at him for continuously talking nonsense. Suddenly, she pushes him down, and he starts feeling hot. He then remembers what Roy told him before about what a woman and a man could possibly do together. He shakes off the thought, trying not to defile her image with his worldly thoughts. His mind argues with itself about what he should do. He wants the queen to take the lead because his thoughts are completely blank. Seeing him act so shy, she teases him. She looks down at him with a smirk as he asks her to be nice and calls himself pure. As she goes down on him, she suddenly grabs his neck and drains his mana. She insults him for letting his guard down and trusting his enemy. She sucks his mana to restore her own strength. Alex slowly loses his strength and lies unmoving at the queen's mercy. Alex feels betrayed as she continues draining his mana. He thought they were finally getting closer, and asks himself if he was just being delusional. He forces himself to fight back, since he cannot afford to lose any more mana. With this, he activates his power, and the impact sends the queen flying to the other side of the cave. The hero cannot help but still worry about her and asks if she is okay. She confirms that she is fine and admits that she has been waiting for the chance to fight him again. She lunges at him, ready to punch him in the face. Alex does his best not to fight back and only dodges her attacks. He begs her to calm down and listen to him for a moment, but the queen keeps attacking him relentlessly. He asks her again why she suddenly started a fight with him. Instead of answering, she summons her weapon and attempts to strike him with it. However, he continues to dodge her attacks and refuses to retaliate. Frustrated, the queen questions why he will not fight her back, adding that this is their final showdown and that he should give his all. As she continues launching successive attacks at him, he declares that he will not try to harm the person that he loves, and so he will just keep evading her strikes.